Once upon a time, there was this young lad called Jonathan. It's like 15. And how old, like, what school year is 15? Is it like year 10?
Year 10, yeah.
Year 10. So he's like, the school every year does like an end of the year play. And this year they've chose to do the Nativity. And what they do is have you ever seen the Romeo and Juliet film with
Leonardo DiCaprio,
yeah.
Claire Danes, yeah.
So it's kind of like they add a bit of like modernity to it. So it's still like the old story, but they have like things, you know, like cars and guns in it.
Yeah.
Well, in this they want to like do the Nativity, but make it relevant to like the modern world.
The Nativity.
Not necessarily update it, but it's kind of like, for example, like the Three Wise Men, they want like them to mention Trump and like Brexit and stuff.
Okay.
You know, kind of like make it a bit political, but like, you know, relevant to like the current political climate. So he's in school and they're like rehearsing for this play, and the casting, like who's going to be doing this play, and they cast him as Joseph in the Nativity. And there's this girl in his school who he likes, and they cast her as Mary. So he's thinking, get in there. Then he's only 15 though, so it's not like anything, you know. And then
Nothing sexual. Just
so the teacher, he's like late 70s, he's got like a white beard, and like, you know, like Bernie Sanders, he's got like the messy like white hair.
Yeah.
He goes, hang on a minute, I've changed my mind, you're not playing Joseph. So he goes and he gets Jonathan's best mate, Dwayne. He says, you play Joseph instead. So like he's done it a bit like, you know, he's being a bit like, he doesn't really like Jonathan, this teacher.
no.
So he like knows like it'll upset him a bit. So they're basically rehearsing, and he like goes to Jonathan, you play this tramp instead. And they go because they want to make it relevant to homelessness and stuff. So sorry if that's offensive, the word tramp. I don't know if is that offensive these days.
Oh, no.
Well, that's what the teacher's a cunt, so he just says that anyway. So I'm like tramp. So goes home one night, Jonathan, and it's the night before they're doing the play. They're doing it like in front of all the parents and like the teachers and stuff. He's just finished having a sausage pie, and he's watching The Ring, you know, the horror film.
Yeah.
He's in like his
the remake.
the remake.
Oh.
So he's watching that, and it's like 9 o'clock of the night, so it's like dark outside. And the next minute, this woman who's not in the film, but she appears like she's in the film, but she's not meant to be in the film.
Right.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. She appears on the screen almost.
Not even like appears, like she's just an extra in the background in the film when nothing's going on, and he notices she's like walking close to the camera, just looking. It actually is like what happens in The Ring at the end.
It sounds fucking creepy.
But like she's just walking. Next minute, she jumps out the TV and lands like in his bedroom, and she's like, "Your name's Jonathan, isn't it?" And he's like, "What's going on?" And she goes, "You know what's going on?" And he goes, "What?" She goes, "I'm an extra in The Ring." So he's like, "How have you just jumped off the telly?" And she's like, "That's for me to know and you to never find out." So she basically goes to him, "Here's what I want you to do." Am I allowed to?
This is your.
Am I allowed to swear though?
Yeah.
Like,
Do whatever you want, mate.
that, so she goes, "And that cunt who teaches you is like, his name's Mr. Peterson." She's like, "That cunt who teaches you, when you're on stage, I want you to shout a spell out on stage." And he's like, he's taken aback, and like he doesn't know what's going on, but he's like, he's one of them. He's a pot smoker, so he's a bit high, so he's kind of like just laid back. His dad's downstairs watching the football, so like he can't hear anything going on. And she's going, when you're doing your scene, because he's in a scene with Mary and Joseph, which is his mate Dwayne and stuff, and he's playing the tramp. Basically, to explain it, they're going to walk past him, and he as the tramp is going like ask for some change, and they give it to him, and like he says thank you, and like the teachers just like give him just that part. So it's like he's not even given, like he's only given one line, and she goes to him, when you're doing that scene, I want you to jump up and shout, "Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy." And he goes, why? And she goes, you'll find out, just do it. And then she turns around, she doesn't jump back into the telly, but she climbs into it, and then she basically goes off, and she was like crossing the road in the film, so she kind of like she's looking at the TV, she kind of runs, you know, because she's not meant to be on the set, so she runs back into the TV and off the set. So he's like, he carries on watching the film, and he's like, he doesn't know if it's a pot or anything. Wakes up the next morning, and he's like, I'd know if that was an hallucination because I'd remembered it differently, but that was like dead vivid, you know, when he wakes up, because he smokes pot all the time, so he's going, no, that definitely happened. So he goes in, and they're all in like the dress rehearsals, getting ready to do the play. It's like they're getting the parents and everything there. And his mate Dwayne comes up to him and says like, you're looking forward to the play, you know, a bit like sarcastic and stuff, because he's like onto it that he likes her, and he's kind of like, he just says yeah and stuff, and he's just, but all the time he's just thinking, am I going like shout this spell out and see what happens? Is it? He doesn't even know if it's a spell. He's been too scared to even say it out loud. So they're on the play. This teacher's sitting, Mr. Peterson, he's sitting in the front row. It's like, he's basically got like you know, like a notepad out, and he's like just writing down how like they're all doing and stuff. So gets to his scene, starts with him sitting on the stage, like begging for money. Done like they did the Three Wise Men have just been on talking about Trump. They had someone come on with a wig, Trump wig on and stuff. So they've done all that, and he thinks, you know what, fuck him, just go and jump up, look at the teacher, and just shout this spell, and just see what happens. So Mary and Joseph, they're not Mary and Joseph, but the kids playing Mary and Joseph walk on. Before they even... Yeah. By the way, to clarify, if anyone's not familiar with the nativity in the Bible, like Mary and Joseph with Jesus' parents.
Yeah.
So, just to clarify, if anyone's not familiar with the actual story, but they walk on. Before they say a line, he jumps up, looks at the teacher, and shouts, "Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy." Fucking lights go off. Fucking just the theatre goes pitch black. And all the parents, you can hear the parents go like, what the fuck's going on? So they've been in the house. Next minute, lights come on. This fucking senator, is that how you say it?
Senator.
Not senator, like
Senator.
This centaur runs that, because it's like the theatre's like, you know, a fucking cinema. Like, so you got the steps and you got the rows. Fucking this centaur fucking runs through the fucking fire exit, gallops down the stairs. The teacher's looking and going like what the fuck's that? Fucking runs to the front row, picks the teacher up, runs back up the stairs. This fucking black portal opens, jumps through the portal. Portal shut, and they're all like, "What the fuck's going on?" And like the next minute, these fucking flying bats come like flying around. Have you seen The Mist?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. They're just all the parents, like they're flying around, just like lifting people up and stuff. And he's thinking to himself, like Jonathan, he's like thinking it. He feels like really guilty and stuff that all this is going on. And he's like, what do I do? And he basically shouts, "Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy." But he does it the reverse. He thinks like, if I reverse a spell, will this reverse all of this? So he does, instead of "Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy,"
So he does
it's
busy, let's Wizzy Izzy.
yeah. He does that twice as loud. Nothing happens, and then the next minute this catapult comes through this black portal. Same black portal opens, catapult comes through, lands in front of him. He sees the teacher go out like that, tries to get out.
What, trying to get out the portal?
Doesn't manage it, and the portal shuts. But the catapult's got out, so he's like, he gets this catapult, he sets the catapults off, flings it. This catapult flings this fireball. Theatre blows up. Next minute, he wakes up.
Oh.
So he wakes up in hospital,
Oh.
and he's like, "No, that wasn't a dream. That wasn't a dream because I've got the burns from the catapults." So he wakes up,
Got a splinter from the wood.
and the teacher's sitting next to his
one
hospital
that was in the
bed.
pool?
Yeah,
Mr. Peterson.
he's 40 years younger.
Oh.
And he's like, goes to him, "You won't understand any of that, but the minute you shouted that spell, I knew she'd come to visit you." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "That was my wife. My wife who passed
No,
away.
the TV.
Oh.
Yeah, the woman who come out and he went." And Jonathan's like, "I'm really confused. I don't know what's going on." And he goes, "No, it's all right because I'm 40 years younger now. And if I would have known that when I got to 70, I'd be stuck teaching a bunch of little snotty-nosed cunts like you, I would have taught myself years ago." He gets up and he walks out. And he goes that you get if you want to know what happens to him now, he's 40 years younger. I beef it every fucking other month. Just living the life. So Jonathan goes back into school and he's he gets nominated what you call it,
Like a Pride of Britain.
kind of like that, he's the class representative, and it's just everyone's going, "You're the hero and stuff. What you done with that catapult?" And
Burn the theatre down.
no, because the theatre was falling apart anyway. So they've actually it's give the school a fucking excuse to refurbish and stuff. And all the students that's the best thing we've ever seen. And even the parents are made up with him, and he's he watches The Ring every night, just hoping that this teacher's wife will jump back out. And he's watching it one night and he notices a shadow, and he's like, "Is that her?" Moves closer to the TV. Fucking two hands come out, grab him, pull him into the screen, and it's the centaur.
Right.
And the centaur goes, "I'm going to make you 40 years younger." And he goes, No, I'm 15. And he does it.